Hi. So, as you may already know, to pursue music professionally requires that you also set up and own a business and a business entity. And typically, with that business, you'll have to set up a separate bank account for it. So, today we are going to talk about how to set up that bank account so that your business is sustainable from day one. Cool, right? So, before we get into setting up your bank accounts, I want you to hit that subscribe button because you'll be notified when I post new videos, and I hope these videos are helpful to you in your career. And you hitting that subscribe button helps tell YouTube that I'm here and still working and growing my channel, and it helps us all. So thank you. So before I get into today's video, I do want to prefix this video with a disclaimer. The system I'm going to share with you, or some of the details I'm going to share with you today, are based on an existing system called Profit First. You can go to Amazon, grab the book. There is some online courses, I believe, but this system, and there's another system that is similar to it. It's a financial structure in a book called Business Made Simple. These two frameworks, like I said, are very similar. They have a few nuanced tweaks. So, and I use a combination of them myself to run my business. But I'm not a certified trainer or professional or coach in either of these platforms. So I just wanted to make that known. I'm just here to share the news about these platforms and some, surface level details. But if you really want to get into it, I highly suggest picking up either of those books and learn more about them yourself. So let's dive in. So if you already have a business set up for your music, chances are you may already have a bank account set up at your bank or credit union. If you go and work with them, they should be able to help you complete this exercise. If you still need to find a bank, I highly recommend an online bank called Relay Bank. It's actually a bank that is subscribed to the Profit First model, and they will just set up your bank account for you like this. So it's kind of out of the box, easy peasy. So I use Relay. Love it. I will leave a link below in the description for Relay so you can check it out for yourself. So when you usually set up a new bank account anywhere, whether it's personal or business, it kind of comes with just the standard one savings account, one checking account, right? But in addition to those two, you should ask your bank or credit union to set you up 3 more checking accounts in that account. So you have a total of 5 accounts. So now what this means is you're going to use these for different reasons, of course. But the first one, the original checking account, typically because it's tied to a debit account or debit card, would be your spending. This everything that you use to operate, any expenses you have, anything that you're paying for studio time or paying out for anything. You're going to spend everything from this one spending account. Now, one of the other new checking accounts is going to be what we would call an artist pay account. For whether it's just you or all the band members, the money that goes into this account can be divvied up or paid to you on a regular basis as a payroll in the future. The third checking account, or the second one of the 3 new ones, would be for taxes. So you want to make sure you're collecting this throughout the year in case you need to, cover tax expenses, or depending on how your business is structured, it may go to pay for, your accountant to help you do your taxes and that sort of thing. But it's important to have a tax account so that you aren't scrambling at the end of the year. 4, the original savings account should be set up as a profit and emergency savings account. This is used for backup. But there's ways to use this, and we can explore that later, or you can explore it in the books that I mentioned earlier. And last but not least, the 5th one and the final checking account is your income account. And as you might have guessed, that is where all things come in too. So if you have PayPal set up, if you have a Shopify set up, if you have a Patreon set up, if you have your royalties and streaming and all these things and licensing and everything set up for like direct deposit, all these platforms and everything that you ever make, even if it's just a physical check from your local venue, everything should go into the income account. Now, these are the 5 basic ones that you want to start with just to kind of get your bearings with the system. But if you find yourself super comfortable with these, there's nothing to say that you can't open more later if you really want to be organized. Say you want to open up a separate account for touring, for gear purchases. You want to save up for bigger purchases of gear and not impact your day-to-day spending. If you want to save up for your next recording session, save up for studio time, and maybe studio musicians, so you have the money to pay them. But think about it. If you have like maybe even just a sixth account that lets you cycle through other projects. So think about it that way. But right now, let's just stick with the 5 so it stays easy. So because there's more to the system than just setting up these 5 bank accounts, I am going to stop here, let you handle that if that's something you want to do with your band. This does potentially work for any business that you might set up. So it's not just your music. This is really more of a business framework for finances. But I do think it applies very well to the sustainable business model for musicians as well. So take the time this week or the next week to call, email, visit, text, whatever, your bank or credit union, talk to them about setting up your bank accounts this way. And there's a pretty good chance that you already kind of know what some of the bank accounts are for and how to maybe start using them, which you might be intrigued to start getting into it. But there are some other things to think about, and we can cover that in the next video. So for now, let's get those accounts set up, and I will see you on the next video.